Laowinners here. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, because I forgot to tell you guys that before. But anyway, I want to tell you that we are joining, me and Ben, Team Laowinners here, joining the Winston's Fix Up a Crap Bike Challenge. We have an entry and we have begun work already. So we're not cheating. We didn't get a head start. We started as soon as Winston posted his video. So we are on the China team. We will be representing China along with Serpent ZA. And we will be building 2 separate bikes as our entries. Remember, just as a reminder to all of my subscribers, that the number one thing you're gonna try to go for is the lowest cost bike. Cheaper is more points. Number 2, 25 points. Number 2 is how fast does it go? Acceleration and top speed. Number 3 is can it do tricks, wheelies, stoppies, that kind of thing. Number 4, does it look cool? We'll be judging you, each other, fellow contestants, and also the other people on the internet, on YouTube. All of the subscribers and all of the viewers out there will be doing polls and helping us judge the competition in the end. So it's an ongoing project. I'm not quite sure about the deadline, but we're already started, and I put together this little video for you guys to see about our entry video. Our 1992 Wuyang Honda 125 WY 125A. And all of its little niggles and funny characteristics. So anyway, get out there, guys, build your bikes, and I'll see you at the finish line.
Lessons in reverse. 10 million tries to get it right. And you see through the frame I made myself, anticipating when a plane. You can find the sun in a new horizon. A new life has just begun. I can see us when we grow old. You're not a complicated soul. See through your heart, it's like an open window. And when I get confused, we make love simple. Learning how to remove the curves. Stars beneath the tattered sky.
Perfect. So as you can see, it runs, but just barely. The engine is absolutely shot. It just spurts, and it spurts white smoke everywhere. And it just doesn't want to go. It just doesn't want to go. So we have to do this every time if we want to ride it. And I'll tell you, it gets pretty dangerous at stoplights in Chinese traffic. But it's a special bike. Okay, let's try to ride. Okay, yeah, it seems to be working now. It's a special bike and it's got a lot of stories, so Ben's gonna tell us all about them. Lead the way. So we're eating some noodles here and just got the bike running. And tell us a story about where your bike came from and some of its niggles.
Well, it's a little bit of a strange story that even people down here don't tend to believe. I actually did not buy it in southern China. I bought it in Inner Mongolia. So it's got the Neimungu plates on the back and everything. We went out, we checked, there's this website, it's a little bit like Craigslist in China, called BT City. And every city in China over a certain size has one. So we were looking around and we were like, what is the crappiest, cheapest motorcycle we can get that still runs? And so we're looking at, you know, this Chinese hierarchy of fake bikes. You know, they got the Honda, the original red bike, the Honto, the Hogbud, the Hog-D, and then it's just like letters underneath that. And we were into like Hog-D and letters territory. And we're like, what are we gonna do? This is ridiculous. So suddenly we find this Honda and we're like, okay, is this too good to be true? And the guy says it's in 1998. Right, so we're like, all right, well, this is definitely worth checking out. And, you know, 7 times out of 10 it's gonna be fake or some shit, but you know, we gotta go and at least have a look. So we get there. He's just like this retarded factory guy. You know, he just like swept in from some like weird village or something, like Grease Monkey, works on an assembly line kind of dude, and he just uses it to commute to work, right? We roll in, and he's like 3,000. We take a look at it, and it's not a 1998, mind you. It turns out it's a 1992. This is like the first year that Wuyang started making Hondas in China, so it's outrageously old. We're like, you jogging me, bro? Are you serious about this? And so we haggle with him, and we walk away with 1,500, which is a pretty good deal for that bike, because it ran. It did not.
1,500 quid.
Yeah. It did not run well, though. So rode a little bit up in Neimungu. That was where I cut my chops, but I got into it down here in Guangdong. And one of the first things we did in Guizhou, Guangdong, was take it to this little local mechanic guy, right? And we were like, have a look at her, tell us what she needs. And this bike had a rough time about, I was gone for about 2 months, right, before I could bring it back down. And in that time, Baotou, it's sort of a desert, right? But it has these weird monsoon rains, like 2 or 3 times a year, and it's just a torrential downpour. So this damn bike was underwater for like a month or something. I mean, completely submerged, like just up to the handlebars. And so we get this thing back down, and he takes a look at it, and he says, well, the battery's completely shot. You got a broken seal on the front here from riding across the like crap Mongolian roads and everything. And let's take a look at your oil. We tried to get the oil changed in Baotou, right? But we've seen guys break like 3 wrenches trying to get the bolt off the bottom. This guy finally plugs at it with a pneumatic wrench for like 30 minutes. Thing drops away, and this thin trickle of just pitch, black sludge, like molasses, comes dribbling out into a pan. It's like an ounce of this horrible, thick sludge. And he looks up at us, right? Like he sees the worst abused, tortured bikes. And he just looks at us, and there's like shock in his eyes, like horror. He's like, what did you do to this thing? I mean, the damn bike had been driving around for months without any oil in it at all. It had been underwater completely. The indicators had both fallen off, and we shipped it down here, just banging around in this stupid cart. So I mean, the bike is just in absolutely terrible condition. The Kickstarter sheared clean off one day, so we had to get a crappy Chinese one on there, which is half of why it's so difficult to start. We went through an entire new sprocket set. Those were completely, they were toast after they've been underwater for that long. But the crazy thing is the engine's still running, you know? I mean, it's a solid, yeah. I mean, it's this like hefty steel chunk that's just gonna keep going. Hell for leather. Everything else in the bike is absolutely falling apart, but the engine it's okay. Maybe for another, 5,000 kilometers or something. So she's a battered old warhorse. She's my battered old warhorse, and that poor bike has been through more weird adventures and crazy abuse than any 5 Land Cruisers in America. So think it's time to give her a proper entry into the next world, and